exhausting, please remain standing and join us as we sing our national anthem. Please be seated. Good evening, and welcome to the commencement exercises for the class of 2023. Friends, faculty, family, and most especially our soon-to-be graduates, greetings to you all. I am Dr. Gina Houghton, head of the upper school, and on behalf of the University School of Milwaukee, our esteemed faculty, and the Board of Trustees, I am pleased to welcome you to our beautiful campus to celebrate with us as we confer upon the members of the class of 2023 our highest honor, and that is a University School of Milwaukee diploma. Before I go any further, it's imperative that I recognize the tireless work of those who've made this evening possible. Our custodial and grounds crew, our security officers, our staff, our IT department, Magic Productions, Canopies, and especially my rock, Mr. Mark Connor. All have worked long hours on this event, and they will be here much longer than we will be when we depart. Thank you all. We are present this evening to celebrate these young adults seated before us into a distinguished and coveted group of University School of Milwaukee alumni. And tonight we offer advice, praise, and wish them well. As I conclude my first year in this role, I have spent the entire year discussing ways to seek out how to find the wins in life. And while I still very much believe in DJ Khaled's famous words, all I do is win, 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 I would be remiss if I let you leave me today without talking about losing. Based on the law of averages, it is likely that you will experience more loss than wins in life. For example, you might not get the grade you want. You might not get the job you want. You might not have gotten into the college that you wanted. But trust me, everything happens for a reason. I promise the speech gets better and more inspirational. Okay. One of the most notable incidents of loss in our lifetime was the sinking of the Titanic. There were many prominent people like J.P. Morgan and Milton Hershey who had actually booked tickets on the ship, and for one reason or another, were unable to sail on one of the world's first cruise liners, as fate seemingly had intervened. Both Morgan and Hershey, along with 10 other notable historians, all became part of the Just Missed It Club. In that moment, I can only imagine how those potential passengers must have felt missing out on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity of luxury. But because we know how that story actually ended, it's now easy for us to count that loss as an actual win. The concept of loss can be misleading. See, the key to both winning and losing are all about perspective an attitude. Society teaches us that there is only one definition for winning, and we are inundated with famous quotes like, "Winning isn't everything, but it beats anything that comes in second," or "Second place is just the first loser," or "Winning isn't everything, it's the only thing," or "The only person that said winning isn't everything has never won anything." While the essence of these quotes seems reasonable, and I believe are meant to motivate us all, they often send us a counter message. It actually doesn't teach us how to lose. And I know what you're thinking right now. Dr. Houghton, nobody enjoys losing. Well, that might be true, but I'm going to challenge you and tell you that I believe there are some things worth losing, such as losing a bad attitude, losing unhealthy relationships, losing self-doubt, losing egos, losing anger, losing self-pity, losing envy, losing selfishness, losing worry, losing fear, and most importantly, be okay with losing your way. Because sometimes when you lose your way, you actually end up finding yourself. There is one thing, however, that you will never have to worry about losing, and that's me. We are forever family, and you're stuck with me. I encourage you all to lose often because true winners know how to take losses. My first year and your last year will forever be intertwined, and I will never forget you. I'll miss you. Congratulations, class of 2023. I am now pleased to invite to the podium our head of school, Mr. Steve Hancock.
Parents, grandparents, friends, and students, on behalf of the faculty and Board of Trustees, I'm delighted to join Dr. Houghton in welcoming you to this joyful commencement celebration at the University School of Milwaukee. Before we begin celebrating our guests of honor, the future graduates of the class of 2023, please allow me a moment to recognize the people on stage who've joined us this evening. Along with Dr. Houghton, we have Charlie Huzio representing the upper school. Our additional division heads are Elaine Griffin from the middle school and Mike Tauscher from the preschool and lower school. Amy Hand is our assistant head of school. And we have several trustees who've joined me on stage this evening. Our Board of Trustees President, Karan Warner, Sumita Krishnani, Kara Nelson, and Mike Williams are all devoted members of our Board of Trustees. Later in this program, I will have the great pleasure of introducing our guest speaker. Commencement is such an important time in the life of a school, and today we will celebrate the accomplishments of our students. But I could not let today go by without acknowledging our retirees who've collectively given well over 100 years of service to USM. Just yesterday, we honored the faculty and administrators who are transitioning from full-time to retirement. If you would please hold your applause until I've read all the names, I'd appreciate it. From the staff, Robin Fatlove, 17 years. From the upper school, 4 years, Sue Bowley, and 16 years, Priscilla Woods. From our middle school, 25 years, Jeff Ballantyne. 27 years, Todd Schlenker. And from our preschool, with 40 years teaching our youngest learners in the same room, Ms. Margaret Muffy Brown. Would you please congratulate our retirees? Parents, thank you for the sacrifices you have made to help make a USM education possible for your children. I would not want you to leave this ceremony today without hearing how much we appreciate your partnership during your years at USM. While 3 of the 4 years of high school were disrupted by the pandemic, I am thankful that you stood by the school as we witnessed your children thrive and become ready for their next chapter in life. Along with my amazing spouse, Stephanie, we have launched 2 children to college and beyond. I imagine you're wondering the same things that we were wondering at the time of their high school graduation. Are they ready? I can tell you that your children are resilient and they are ready for the future challenges that life will certainly send their way. Your precious children won't stop needing you, but they will begin to need you in a different way. Some of you have been through this process before. For others, this experience will be brand new. And I encourage you to continue to lean deep into your USM community. Parents, the bonds that you share today will not slip away. You will continue to grow together in the months and years ahead. And I encourage you to find ways to enjoy each other in new and different ways. And now on to our seniors. Soon our ceremony will conclude, and you will sing the alma mater for the first time as alums of University School of Milwaukee. For many, you've been singing this song for 15 years. And as you link arms and sing together, I hope you will pay particular attention to one line in our alma mater. Singing of her sons and daughters, stalwart, proud, and bold. Strong, sturdy, tenacious, and tough are all synonyms for stalwart. However, I believe stalwart has a deeper meaning. I think of a person of unshakable dependability who is characterized by hard work. You will need these qualities as you head out into the world for both yourself and for others. Being a stalwart person requires continued effort and is something that we can all strive to achieve. You should certainly be proud of all you have accomplished at USM. There is a lot to be proud of here, but I would encourage you to think less of yourselves and transfer that pride to your classmates and your community. These individuals have lifted you up during difficult times. They have cheered you on through high school life. You are proud of each other, and this is a quality that will serve you well. Living life in a bold manner is an exciting proposition. I hope you've learned to take risks during your time at USM. Some of you are just now feeling the confidence to live life boldly. To be a person of courageous action takes time to develop for some, and others have been flexing this muscle for some time. Continue to find ways to be bold in the big and small ways, and look for these examples in your classmates as you collectively think about your future. Singing of her sons and daughters, stalwart, proud, and bold. You leave us today, and we hope USM stays with you, that you keep us close and you stay close to those who surround you today. Your teachers, your mentors, your friends, your coaches, all wish you the very best. We hope that when the call comes from a fellow classmate, you'll return the call. And when USM asks for your help, whether for your ideas or your time or your treasure, that you will lend a hand even when you've found new communities, new friends, and new families. Congratulations again, class of 2023. We are thrilled to send you off into the world, and we can't wait to see you again. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hancock. It is now my pleasure to welcome the class of 2023 valedictorian, Miss Ellie Lin.
Dear class of 2023, we have survived. We have survived late nights and early mornings. We've endured those 11:59 deadlines, those never-ending web assigns. We've even pulled through Bartle's paralyzing, torturous calc tests and Faulkner's mind-boggling stream of consciousness. Footnote after footnote, reassessment after reassessment. Really, it's a miracle we're all here in one piece today. I mean, really, it is. Because at the same time, through the better half of our teenage years, we have survived the isolation of a pandemic. We have survived the crossfire of a polarizing political climate. We have survived the tragedies and triumphs of brazen social movements. Except survive doesn't seem so fitting anymore, does it? Because our circumstances were never so dire. We didn't survive, we watched. As we hurdled those cliche high school obstacles like mountains made from molehills, we watched hell break loose from afar. The reality is, while the world burned and flooded, while people died fighting for their basic human rights, we were still in school, sheltered by high red brick walls and our parents' warm embraces. And as such blessings were provided to us on the regular, it became easy for many of us to recognize blessings as bare necessities, as if we should expect and deserve the life handed to us on a silver platter. It has become easy to lose sight of how lucky we are, that 1% bubble we've taken for granted. I, for one, am most definitely guilty of such an attitude. And I would be remiss if I did not take a moment today to thank the people who have afforded me blessing after blessing after blessing, my parents. You see, my parents were born into a life of incredibly limited opportunity and non-existent liberty in communist China. And although they managed to build a humble life from themselves from the ground up, they soon gave it all up, left it all behind, so they could raise their children in a better place. For their children, my parents sacrificed everything they once called familiar, even if that meant decades of scraping by in a foreign, uninviting land. Yet I am now standing here on this beautiful stage that they never would or could have dreamed of. How lucky am I? They are my heroes, they are my champions, my twin pillars, the people without whom I cannot stand. And then there's the person I can't stand, my brother. My brother, whose life was uprooted with my parents' decision to immigrate. He learned the meaning of resilience and independence far younger than most, yet his hardships haven't made him cold or bitter, for the most part, but rather my biggest advocate. Without fail, he always fights for his baby sister to have everything he never had. My brother is my very best friend, and my brother is the person I will always try, but never successfully live up to. How lucky am I? How lucky am I to have 3 people who have given me so much even when they had far little? How lucky are we all, sitting here blanketed in white dresses and navy blazers, to have received a stellar 99th percentile holistic, expensive education that most people won't ever dream of. I could stand up here and gush about how grateful I am for the past 4 years of academics, athletics, and arts, but really, what is gratitude? What is gratitude if it isn't paid forward? Anyone can blindly say thank you out of courtesy, obligation, or habit, but not everyone will aim to make something out of what they're thankful for. So if you take one thing out of this speech, please hear this. Find yourself a mission. Find a purpose to serve a cause greater than just yourself. Because so many people have cared about you, fought for you, invested in you, and thus afforded you the same ability to invest in something of your free choosing. That ability, that rare and precious ability, it comes with profound responsibility. A responsibility to turn all the years of receiving into giving, all the years of watching into doing. So please, take ownership of that responsibility, turn your gratitude into a sense of urgency, and find yourself a mission. And as that mission begins to take shape, remember that you can't go it alone. Unsurprisingly, this mission will not be a linear path. None of us can bulldoze through the world like Flange parting the Red Sea of lunch tables on house day. Unlike Flange, us humans will eventually need help. And thankfully, each of you is graduating alongside 93 remarkable people. I mean, just take a look around. Chances are you're sitting beside our next doctors, like I'm Theory, our best-selling authors, like Sophia, maybe even the next power-hungry dictator-esque politicians, Marco. I mean, just picture it. Windmills and solar panels strewn across the countryside, courtesy of Lucy Flack and Nathan Miller. Headlines featuring novel treatments curated by Johnny or Jordan, humanitarian efforts headed by Zinzi or Zachary. Or maybe we'll all be hiding in bunkers from an apocalypse with Luis's name written all over it. So before that time inevitably comes, make sure to collect a couple autographs tonight, because I'm certain there's a handful of celebrities here too. An athlete like Maya, a showstopper like Katie, a TV personality like Jason, a Sherm like Michael Sherman. The list goes on and on. My long-winded point here, I've digressed a little bit, but my point nonetheless is that we've all had the privilege of exploring our passions to the fullest, cushioned by resources and opportunities and so much support from the people around us. Our families, our friends, our peers, teachers, coaches, mentors, so on and so forth. So once again, I emphasize, how lucky are we? How lucky are we that those same passions now have the potential to inspire and to better the world? And this isn't some naive, you'll turn out all right eventually, but rather it is a hypothesis based clearly and tangibly on what we have already seen our class accomplish. Libby has already taught young girls how to code. Miles has already used his artistic talents to spread awareness for mental health. So many of us have already noticed the disparities in our society and taken the initiative to fill those gaps, to spread our own wealth and to shoulder another's burden. Our missions rooted in passions, are only beginning now. They're sprouting wings, they're gaining momentum for an imminent takeoff. And as we fly our separate ways, I hope we will remember the gratitude that started it all. I hope we will remember the people who have touched our lives, who have given us more than we deserve, without any expectation for reciprocal gain. I hope we will remember that we are the furthest thing from alone. So as we leave 2100 Ferry Chasm Road, with the comfort of a support system under our belts, chase your mission with everything you've got. And ask yourself, what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? How will you be remembered by the generations to come? What will you have cared about, fought for, and invested in? How will your story read decades from now? I, for one, can't wait to hear part of that story in 25 years at our great, awesome, one-of-a-kind bench that we all love very much, when your missions have all bettered the world in one way or another. Thank you.
Thank you, Ellie. We appreciate that message of privilege and gratitude. I'd now like to introduce the University School Upper School Choir, directed by Mrs. Ellen Schuler, and they will be singing The Impossible Dream by Joe Darian and Mitch Lay. Thank you, choir. All right, I now invite Mr. Steve Hancock back to the podium to introduce our commencement speaker.
Many of you sitting here tonight know our commencement speaker, Atia Abawi, well. She spent the past year serving as USM's first ever author in residence, visiting in 2-week increments in October, January, and April, and working with students and teachers in all 3 divisions on a variety of projects and topics. And before that, she held author visits at USM in 2019, 2020, and 2021. As an undergraduate at Virginia Tech University, Atia's intense curiosity inspired her to pursue a career in journalism. She got her start at a local television station in Largo, Maryland, before moving to Atlanta to work at CNN. While there, she made her way to the international desk and out into the field, eventually becoming CNN's Afghanistan correspondent and manager of its Kabul bureau, often traveling with U.S., NATO, and Afghan forces. Her fluency in Dari and Farsi, along with her deep empathy and compassion, quickly set her apart. In 2010, Atia was hired by NBC News to report and manage its operations in Afghanistan, where she obtained an exclusive interview with President Hamid Karzai, the first for the network in a decade. In 2012, she moved to Jerusalem, where she covered President Barack Obama's historic trip to Israel and Palestine, the military coup in Egypt, and the Kenyan mall siege by al-Shabaab militants, among other stories. Atia's first book, The Secret Sky, was published in 2014. Her second book, A Land of Permanent Goodbyes, was released in 2018. In her most recent book, She Persisted, Sally Ride, a children's book, was published in 2021. She has won numerous awards both for her journalistic and written achievements, including the George Foster Peabody Award and the Alfred I. DuPont Columbia Award. I'm so pleased that Atia accepted my invitation to speak to the class of 2023. Would you please join me in welcoming Atia Abawi to the podium?
Hi, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here. You guys look gorgeous. And you made it. Congratulations. First and foremost, you made it. It's an incredible honor to stand before you today during this momentous occasion. I want to extend my sincerest congrats to all the loved ones here, the esteemed faculty, the proud family members and friends, but most importantly, the graduating class of 2023 of the University of Milwaukee. Congratulations to each and every one of you for making it to this incredible day. Many of you I have now seen for 3 years, in person, on Zoom, and through the halls this past year, your final year at USM. You are probably sick of my face by now, so congratulations as well for not having to see it again for a while. Unfortunately for you, you've got a few more minutes of me. And although you may be sick of me by now, I am so grateful to see you one more time on these grounds before you head off to change the world and eventually become citizens and partners with those of us waiting for you. College awaits you, and so do we. We are waiting for your power, your motivation, your energy, and your amazing young minds. You have been through a lot, some more than others, and I'm here to tell you that you'll be going through a lot more. Good, bad, ugly, but oh so beautiful as well. So many amazing things await you. If my high school self was told all the things I'd go through in the next 5, 10, 20 years, she would tell me to slow down and then ask me if I married someone hot. And I would say, yeah, I think so. She was a bit of a goofball, and I miss her. She was kind of awesome and funny, things I didn't feel about myself back then. Something you may not always feel about yourselves all the time. But I'm here to remind you that you are amazing just the way you are. You've already proven you can get through challenges. You've grown from children to adults during some really wild times. You've witnessed life in ways the generations before you hadn't by your age. You've seen the horrors of the world in the palm of your hands as you scrolled through your phones. You were quarantined during a deadly pandemic that swept the globe, and you were still expected to hand in your assignments. And some of you have faced discrimination, hate, and abuse at such a young age that many of your peers may not fully know or understand. And I'm sorry you had to go through those moments. But I also hope that you've witnessed the moments of happiness, joy, and love that life has to offer. And I know many of you have. I heard your gorgeous laughs in the hallways this past year, the jokes and the whispers with your friends. Those are precious moments, and you'll have more of them with new people as well. People anxiously wondering when they will meet you, just as you think about when you will meet them. This world is filled with love. I know sometimes it doesn't seem that way, but it is. Whether it be the love of family, love of friendship, or the love of a partner. It's just sometimes we lose sight of it, but we have to keep looking for it because it is always there. Today, I want to share with you some tips that I wish I would have listened to better or heard when I was younger. I was still naive at your age, a luxury many of you haven't been afforded. So forgive me if these things that I am about to mention are things you already know. 1, figure out your motivation. People will have different motivations, whether it's power, money, or changing the world, among many others. You need to figure out what your motivation is, and from there, you can figure out your next steps in life. 2, not everyone will like you. I'm sure there are some here today who don't like me and can't wait for me to stop talking. Does that bother me? Yes, because I'm a people pleaser, and I'm working on that. And for some of us, it takes time to let that sink in. Not everyone will like you, and that's okay. In fact, for me at least, it made life easier to know this. I stopped working so hard to try and change someone's mind. It's just energy wasted. They have their reasons for not liking you, and almost always that stems from something missing or broken within them, not you. The only person you need to convince into liking you is yourself. And at times, that is the hardest person to convince. But you're stuck with yourself for every second of every day. There will be days that you will not like yourself very much. Those days will pass. You need to learn to love yourself and make the right choices for you. Learn to stand up for yourself the way you would for a loved one, because you are worth it and you deserve it just as much as they do. 3, there are also a lot of people who do love you and will do anything for you, many of whom who are here today. They are here celebrating your success, and they want to be there for you too on your worst days. Cherish them and reach out to them when you need them. 4, access to your life is a privilege. The people around you will affect how you live your life, so choose wisely. They can help shape your beliefs, work ethic, values, and perspectives on the world around you. They can inspire you or drain you. They can challenge you to grow or hold you back. Try to find the people that will make your journey more fulfilling and add light to your life. And don't be afraid to cut people out who no longer serve a positive purpose in your life. Negativity is a cancer, and it spreads quickly, and it doesn't serve anyone. 5, love deeply. Your heart will go through a lot. There is no stronger high in life than love, and no stronger pain than a broken heart. Both are beautiful. Both teach you something. Put your heart to use and feel that immense power of it all. And don't let the bad parts hold you back. The world in your life changes for the best through empathy, compassion, kindness, and love. 6, give grace and expect grace from others. Nobody is perfect. Not one single person on this planet is. People will let you down, and you will inevitably let someone down too. We all make mistakes. You will make mistakes. You will disappoint someone, and it's gonna suck, and you're gonna grow from it. Not everyone will deserve your grace, but don't let your own pride make you miss out on those who do. And sometimes the person we need to give grace to is ourselves. And trust me, that's the hardest person to give grace to, but the most important one as well. 7, there is never a perfect time for anything. Just don't let it be fear that holds you back. Step out of your comfort zone. You will have tons of excuses of why you can't do something. Money, friends, circumstances, the list goes on and on. I wasn't ready to move to Atlanta, a city I had never even visited before, to live and work an entry-level job that didn't pay well, but I did it. I wasn't ready to move into a war zone, but I did it. I wasn't ready to quit my job in Afghanistan that I was miserable in because I didn't have anything lined up after, but I did it for my own sanity. I wasn't ready to get married. I had just figured out how to live with myself, and now I had to share it with someone, but I did it. I was definitely not ready to be a mom. I considered myself a 32-year-old teen mom when I had my son, and it was the best thing I ever did. So I did it again. I unfortunately had a miscarriage, one of the worst moments of my life, and I was terrified to try again, but I did it anyway, and led to another one of the best moments of my life. And in every case, it worked out. Every new door that I opened led to the next and the next and the next, and I'm still making it work out. I'm not saying be fearless, because it's okay to be afraid. Just don't let that fear of the unknown hold you back. Quite often, it's in the unknown that you find a new part of yourself that you're going to love. I have 2 more, and I'm going to mix these together. 8 is always ask for what you want. The worst someone can say is no. 9, dreams can change. The reason I'm combining it is because I know you guys want to move on, so I'm going to share a short story for you. When I was at the international desk at CNN, I worked on stories. I confirmed stories all over the world. We didn't have a bureau in Afghanistan, but I spoke the language. So I was confirming stories in Afghanistan and Iran, speaking the language, reading the newspapers, watching the shows that were coming in. I was their Afghanistan bureau based in Atlanta. I was sent to Iraq to cover the Iraq War. They called me in Baghdad to confirm information in Afghanistan, which I did gladly. So when they were about to open an Afghanistan bureau, I assumed my hard work paid off, that they would pick me. They were hiring for 2 jobs, a correspondent position and a producing position. I went for the producing position because I thought, I'm young, I'm not going to get the correspondent position. The guy who was going for the correspondent position was what I thought was a friend, who I thought was a friend. And he approached me when he was visiting Atlanta, and he said, you and me, we're going to be a team, we're going to be a team. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. I was so excited. He went back to Iraq. He was the bureau chief there. And I got a call from a friend in the bureau there who told me, he just had a tirade about you, and he said he refuses to work with you, and he's going to make sure that you don't get that job because he thinks that you're going to outshine him. I was shocked. So at that moment, I thought about what my mom had told me when I started my career. Ask. The worst they can say is no. I decided to email my boss, and I made a meeting with her. The next day I told her I no longer wanted the producer position, I now wanted the correspondent position. And I let him know that too. I got it. I was cheaper, but I got it. And after I got it, months after, I was in Afghanistan and a female camerawoman came in and she told me, you do realize you were nowhere in the plan for the Afghanistan Bureau. She sent me the 14-page PDF file that they had, and my name wasn't listed. It was only male colleagues, some of whom hadn't even been abroad before. So that's also a way of saying that you are going to face ageism, sexism, racism, whatever ism you can think of, it's out there, and you'll come across it. Just be prepared and ready, and I think you guys are, from what I've seen. Dreams also change, and that's okay. That doesn't mean don't work hard. Just because it feels hard doesn't mean change your dreams. Change your dreams if you're no longer fulfilled or happy from it. My dream job at CNN in Afghanistan quickly became a nightmare because I felt like I was being bullied by adults. I eventually decided to quit. But that was okay. Another door opened up. I decided to write books as well. I never thought I could be able to write a book, and I did. I've written 3 so far. Now, I've been able to be in a writer's room for a pilot of a TV show. Even at my age, my dreams keep changing, and it's okay. If you're no longer fulfilled, look for a new path. So I hope some of these lessons I've learned and shared resonate with you. I want to end this with my wish for all of you, which is empathy, courage, curiosity, love, kindness, and happiness. Every single one of you possesses the power to shape your own destinies and create a better future for all of us. And I think I speak for many of us here when I say that we are so excited to see what you will accomplish. Congratulations, Wildcats. Graduates of 2023, this is the end of your first chapter, but just the beginning of your full story. Thank you.
Thank you, Atia. For the record, I'm not tired of seeing your face. Okay. Thank you for that message. All right, I need to check in. Graduates, where you at? Oh, come on. Class of 2023, where are you? All right, it's your turn, it's your time. Okay, Mr. Hancock, Mrs. Werner, and representatives of the Board of Trustees. As the head of the upper school, I do certify the following names. Students have completed all graduation requirements and programs as mandated by the trustees of the University School of Milwaukee, and thereby are entitled to receive this University School of Milwaukee diploma. Mr. Charlie Huzio, please come to the podium and let's get this party started.
With pleasure. Jason Oddix. Zion Aiken Velez. Michael Anderson. Lucy Art. Jackson Barksdale. Noah Blake Baum. Helen Bechtold. Willard Berrien IV. Ian Burchell. Kennedy Bishop. August Brager. Lauren Buck. Talia Saralski. Kaylee Coleman. Vidal Colon. Adam Cotton. Libby Mae Cox. Jonathan Crawford. Luis Dolberiage. Lauren Dixon. Ava Dyke. Landon Edwards. Emery Endress. Miles Ferrer. Riley Filla. Lucy Lee Flack. Zinzi Frederick. Catherine Frick. Marco Geich. Elise Gozan. Evelyn Graham. Erica Green. William Guy. Casey Hakami. Nathan Hansen. Jackson Harned. Maya Harchis. Eloise Eve Hayden. Alexander Horton. Alyssa Howe. Nicholas Hu. Osi Igwe. Isabella Jering. Hunter Kaufman. Azma Kazi. Keith Krull. Jackson Lamana. Mason Lamberton. Sophia Liu. Ellie Lin. Callahan Lidkey. Jessica Marcus. Alex Marich. Benjamin Marler. Danon Metzger. Nathan Miller. Madison May Miracle. Maximus Moe. Maximus Molina. Einthiri Mudili. Brett Nurbin. Dominic Nikolic. Eamon Newman. Brooklyn O'Brien. Capri Oliviero. Ian Parker. Mackenzie Peterson. Oh, Aditya Pillai. Michael Polston. Braden Price. Reagan Reed. Ariana Reiter. Zoe Ricken. Mara Sadik. Zachary Sardis Trevorrow. Michael Sherman. James Schmidt. Abigail Sisson. Naomi Spellman. Jordan Thomas. Marcus Thundercloud. Felix Vites. Josielis Vargas. India Valier. Henry Vincent. Mallory Wong. Maxwell Watchmaker. David Watkins. Roman Westveer.
I did it, Mom.
August Wolf. Julius Zachariah. Irene Zhang. I would also like to recognize Ingrid Lofgren, who was not able to attend this evening's graduation. To all of us who are gathered here tonight, I am thrilled to present the class of 2023.
All righty. Before we conclude tonight's ceremony, we will celebrate with a brief but explosive fireworks show. Yeah, when the fireworks are finished, we will stand and sing our alma mater. Then the class of 2023 will be led out of the stadium. The pipes will go first, then stage guests and the faculty. Graduates, please follow the faculty. Okay, follow the faculty. Mr. Wagner, it's showtime. explosive. All right, please stand for the playing of our alma mater and remain standing for the recessional. Guests, I ask that you please stay at your seats until all graduates have completely left the stadium. Thank you and have an amazing summer.
Did they say anything? Ready? The hall? Quick. Mark.